What's up guys? You already know, it's me Kira, and today we're going to talk about one of the biggest traps in competitive Super Smash Bros. Melee. Now, as I said before, this is the second out of 3 videos that I'm doing for the channel, unless we get more people wishlisting Epiphany City on Steam. Since the last video, we went up from 50 wishlists to 1,400, so I'm already locked into making a 4th video for the channel. Go to the Steam page in the description and click Add to Wishlist to keep the Melee content coming. But what was the most overrated move in Super Smash Bros. Melee? This move gets you counter hit more than it lets you start a combo, it deals very little damage, it leads to almost nothing, and has one of the worst hitboxes in its character's moveset. And the move we're talking about is Link's up B. Just kidding, it's Kirby's down B. Okay, but seriously, this is competitive Melee we're talking about, not casual. For real, the move is actually Fox's neutral air. It's been a staple approach option since L canceling and short hopping were invented, and the official Smash wiki even calls it the best Nair in the game. So what's wrong with it then? Why is it so bad? Well, of course, it's not a bad move, but here are 5 reasons why Nair is overrated. First of all, Fox's Nair has the worst hitbox out of all of his aerials, and it does the least damage out of all of his aerials. Now, these two really aren't that big of a deal. I mean, the hitbox isn't great, but it gets made up for by how blazingly fast Fox is. But what these 2 points really do is accentuate the next 3 points. Number 3, Nair is easily crouch canceled. This is the biggest thing that's changed from the olden days. People are now really good at holding down, which counters Nair pretty hard. Nair really opens you up to crouch canceling, since you can't space it as easily as some of Fox's other moves. And not only that, but all the things your opponents would do out of a crouch cancel are generally the worst possible things for you to get hit by. Grabs from Falcon, Marth, Sheik, Puff, and Peach can all potentially lead to death, as well as a fat juicy shine from Falco. So you really want to avoid getting hit by this. Number 4, Nair doesn't lead to big punishes. Look, I know this sounds crazy, but you don't have to take my word for it. Look through any of IBDW's or Leffen's latest sets to see it yourself. The fact is, Nair is rarely the start of a combo in neutral. Even midway through a combo, you usually have to hit a reaction tech chase to follow up, and at worst, they get the slide off, the ground tech, they get to shield, they roll away, etc. And that's assuming they haven't already CC grabbed you. Compared to Fox's up tilt, up airs, or even combos with forward air, Nair is usually used as a last resort when nothing else will reach. And lastly, number 5, Nair doesn't kill or even put them off stage in a meaningful way. Fox's up air obviously has the potential to kill, and his back air has more knockback and is usually used to push them off stage. So that means Nair doesn't combo, it doesn't kill, and it risks getting hit by their juiciest combo starter. So why would anybody use it? Well, there are at least 2 big upsides to using Nair. One, it has the least amount of lag out of all of Fox's aerials, which also means that it's the safest on shield. It's actually surprisingly safe on shield. In fact, a full hop Nair can't be shield grabbed as long as you're fast falling before you hit the shield. And 2, the hitbox stays out for a really long time. So going off of these strengths, how should we be using Nair? Well, here are 5 ways the best Fox players use Nair in the current meta. Full hop Nair on a side platform. Both IBDW and Leffen use this quite often in their recent sets. It's a lot better here because you won't get grabbed since you land on top of a platform, and the hitbox stays out for a long time. And since there's so little lag, they can usually follow it up with a shield drop aerial to get an opening. Number 2, full hop Nair, drift backwards. Drifting back serves 2 main purposes. 1, you can throw out a hitbox and stay relatively safe, and 2, you can bait a potential whiff punish to get an opening. But for the most part, they try to use a spaced Nair on shield. Number 3, short hop Nair into the corner.
Oh, there was Scar. Like, took the laser and dash in there. Gonna be super good.
This is one of the few instances that Leffen and IBDW actually short hop Nair. It works particularly well as a late Nair on shield, or as an interrupt just as their opponent starts to move forward, since they won't be crouch canceling in that situation. And it doesn't need to combo as much because it'll at least push the opponent off stage. And since most people hold in when they're near the corner anyway, it combos into shine a lot more often. Number 4, Nair can be used at higher percents. Nair just gets better and better the higher percent your opponent is, as it can no longer get crouch canceled and can potentially lead to kills. And for number 5, I personally didn't find too many instances of this in either Leffen or IBDW's recent sets, but I know a Nair to interrupt short hops are used a lot by other players, since your opponent can't CC in the air, and it can potentially lead to more Nairs or up tilts. This is probably the highest payoff you can get with a Nair opening in neutral. Well, this entire video has just been numbered lists, and there's gonna be another one to explain easy ways to implement all the stuff we just talked about. But you guys might be wondering, why did 3 degenerate smashers decide to make this cute looking puzzle adventure game, and why would a competitive Melee player even like it? Well, first of all, it's a game without stress, and after a day of tryharding and getting BM'd on Unranked, sometimes you just want to relax and be entertained by silly characters and an engrossing story. Secondly, the puzzles are truly creative and expressive, the way that playing Melee is truly expressive, since almost anything in the world can be manipulated and turned into something else. Thirdly, the twists, both in the puzzles and the story, are unpredictable and riveting, just like the way the script of Melee is written.
It's all scripted, you guys don't know, dude.
Fourth, like I said, the game was made by 3 degenerate Melee players that were all ranked top 10 in SoCal at some period of time. And I'm not saying this just to make us look good, but rather just to point out, people who like the same things you do made this game. And so if we think this game is awesome, you'll probably find something in there that you love too. And lastly, we donate at least 10% of our profits to disadvantaged people in need, as that's what we've been doing already for the past 7 years anyway. So as cheesy as this sounds, if you care about making the world a better place, if you want to play a super unique and creative game made by Melee players, or if you're looking for a fantastic yet affordable single player experience, please click on the Steam link and click Add to Wishlist. And by doing so, you'll keep the Melee content coming as well. So if you already forgot everything we just talked about, don't worry, I got you. Here is a very simplified version of what you want to take away from this video. When you use Fox's neutral layer, you want to prefer full hop over short hop. That is, unless they're in the corner and you're pretty sure they're not about to roll in.
But wait a minute, will we pay for it? Oh, Legend, that Outtro was so sick!
What a roll coverage.
That was fire.
And
And
the
now
side
we're on
beat
last
barely
stop.
You want to replace your nairs in neutral with down air. Now, this is a bit of an oversimplification, but in general, Fox's drill is a better tool and will lead to more things than nair, and will only become more true the better your opponents get. You can get drill grab on spacies, drill wave shine on floaties. It's just gonna work out a lot better than nair. Once you've won neutral, replace your nairs in your combo game with up air instead. If you do decide to use nair, make sure you're not landing directly on top of your opponent. Either drift back really hard or cross up way past them. And finally, wait until your opponent's at a higher percent before you unlock the nair. If you're really good at using all of Fox's other tools in neutral, your opponent will get conditioned to look for those only and will be taken off guard when you start using nair. But there's actually one last question that I didn't answer. If Fox's neutral air isn't being used that much in neutral, what is? Well, to find out, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon next to it, because the video, How the Fox Pros Play Neutral in 2021, is coming out soon. And whether you main Fox or just want to beat him, you're gonna need to know what the best Fox mains are doing. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.